Today, we are going to talk about anxiety, pre existing or caused due to the lockdown. As some of you are aware, that UK is going through a nationwide lockdown very soon for at least a month. This is, of course, because of COVID 19 and the outbreak that's almost a pandemic affecting everybody in the whole world. People who are not even infected by the virus will be affected either because of quarantine, because of job issues. The world will change. I hear a lot of time issues about when we'll be getting back to the normal. And I think we have to be aware that the new normal is going to be much different to what we are accustomed to and what we are living with. In the last 6 to 9 months, schools have changed, education's changed, traveling plans have changed, are being able to go out, meet friends, colleagues, family members. For people at high risk, they are in isolation. And a lot of information coming out through social media is at best, well, there is no other way to say this, it's dodgy. What's true is that we are living in extremely uncertain times, and that is a recipe for increasing anxiety. That is a recipe for causing anxiety, and that definitely is responsible for the increase in the amount of people who are harming themselves, at times fatally, in the last few months. That has been news as well. I'm trying to share with you some of the strategies that I have found helpful when helping and supporting people. So a lot of times, and including for me, it is about being stuck at home. What I find mostly helpful to do is to reframe that, to say, now I am not spending so much time traveling, so I can spend that time on my own personal health. Hence, I've started doing yoga on myself, reading a lot more, and frankly, being able to do this so that I can assist a bigger group of people. The working from home policy, strategy, design all over the world, I am sure has some shortcomings, and I'm sure will have a negative effect on the economy. But for you, an individual, it also brings forth some advantages. It allows you to work at your own pace, so you are less stressed. There is less time pressure. It also allows you to focus the time that you would have spent traveling on yourself, your family, your kids. I would suggest identifying one thing that you do every day that you did not before the lockdown, and we put that in a list. And what you will find is that there's a lots of stuff that you would have done that you're doing now that you would have not done before, that has a significant positive impact on you, on your mental health, on your family life. Put down half an hour or an hour a day to the boring administrative tasks that you have to do that you did not want to do. For example, reorganizing old photographs that you have collected over your lifetime in a timeline manner or family manner, scanning them and putting them on a hard drive so you can see them on your electronic gadgets. Now, all of us collect these photographs hoping one day we will be able to watch them, see them, reminisce about it. But how about putting them on software? This will help us get out of the mindset that this lockdown only has negative consequences. It has a lot of negative consequences, but it is possible to generate some positive outcomes as well. The second thing I would suggest, so that life doesn't become too dragging, too boring, is to stay close to a routine. If your routine is same as before, then please continue with that. However, if it's not, then set up a new one. So get up at the same time in the morning, get ready. If you're working from home, then get sit in front of the computer or whatever you do and finish the work at a specific time, close your computer down, and then do something that you would have not done before lockdown so that you can appreciate the positive outcomes. For people with children, you will find this is very helpful. UK is not closing the schools down as of today. However, that might happen. It has happened in the last lockdown. And you will find that kids having structure and routine are very helpful. Try not getting into the trap of a more lethargic lifestyle because it will take away the motivation that you have to do what you have to do. It can also be the seed of a negative ruminative cycle. So try going to bed at the same time, getting up at the same time, eating meals at the same time, shower, adapt, put in some exercise as a part of your schedule, and do try to get out of your PJs. Things like doing laundry as routine and usual on Sundays will keep that structure and routine helpful, and you will find your life becomes a lot more relaxed and calm. Add some activity in your schedule, all the time that you're saving from traveling, and you will find physically and mentally you feel better. This will also lay down your ability to engage back with that life in case you have to go back to traveling or other things. I read in newspapers that a lot of people are saying that working from home is better, and I personally would say yes. And I think if we are able to generate good outcomes from this working from home, then it will enhance the quality of life. Disruption in routine is one of the important aspects of people becoming stressed and anxious. Try not to read too much about this coronavirus. The more you read, the more you think, the more probability of you being anxious. Catch up on news once in the morning is enough. Remember, because you are working from home, you do have that extra time, which you can choose to obsess about poor, bad newspaper or news coverings. But you have a choice. You can choose not to do them. It is only after so long that we know what symptoms to look for coronavirus and what not. But researching after every sneeze or an itch and using Dr. Google is not good for your mental health. If you do want to research credible websites like NHS in UK or WHO websites internationally or cdc.gov in America, where the information is presented after ample research has been put behind it. Negative news ongoing so long can definitely make you feel anxious about your general health and what is happening around you. But limit it to 1 day a week, 1 hour a day, or a few days a week. Any more can perhaps cause challenges. Anxiety, in my experience, is usually a consequence of our not knowing and our imagination filling in the blanks. We have a choice of making ourselves agreeable to spending so much and so much time and energy in finding out and trying to predict what's going to happen. I find people who are anxious, who were anxious prior to pandemic and are anxious now, their life has become a lot more chaotic. I find giving them advice about having their table a lot more organized, their home a lot more organized, reduces the probability of the chaotic environment around them not feeding into the emotional chaos. Have a structured routine timetable, your environment a lot more predictable, a lot more cleaner, less stuff around you, you will find calms you down. Almost like your home, you can choose to create zones. So, for example, 9 to 5 might be a mental zone for working. After that, you close your laptop, your iPad down completely and do something else. A lot of us are working through video, Zoom, or any such platform. And I do feel, in my experience, personal as well as professional, that working from home using a lot more video is no less stressful than working face to face. It's a different kind of stress. You still get tired. So try not arranging meetings one after another, but having a break. Try eating your lunch away from your work table. It may or may not be possible to go out to have a bite where you are, but try eating it outside. And you will find that this break between your workday into 2 or 3 small bits reduces the stress levels that you have. If you have been struggling or were struggling before the pandemic with anxiety or depression secondary to past traumatic experiences, then this would be a good time to see what they are. So imagine what they are and see if there's something you can do about them. I have personally advised, and I personally feel setting up an exercise ritual during this pandemic to be very good. I, Yoga has been extremely helpful for my back pain because I sit a lot. But that is something that you could do or consider. Don't feel pressurized of coming out of this lockdown with a new skill. This is not about learning new. This is about keeping yourself physically and mentally healthy in this lockdown. Because though I would like to assure you that as a doctor, I have some inside news as to how long this will stay and how long this will be, regretfully, I cannot. But I do know that a lot of the people that I work with, they are far more anxious. There are a lot new people who are becoming anxious because of this lockdown. And very small things like having a routine, decluttering your working environment will reduce some of this stress. Why not use this time to connect with family members or friends that you've not connected for quite some time? Or a hobby that you thought of, an activity that you love doing that you could not because of time issues. If you have family, I definitely would recommend doing something together, as you will find this increases the emotional connection with your family member. It strengthens the relationship that you have with them, doing something together, be it your child, be it your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father. Spend that half an hour day doing something together, 1 day a week with them, and you'll find that your relationship has become better, it's enhanced. A lot of times people are worrying about what will they do and how will they access health issues. Well, I assure you that in psychiatry, for example, I am personally doing only video clinics, and I've had an opportunity to discuss this with some other colleagues, and I have found almost everybody is able to connect to you through telephone, through video, and help you as much as possible. So that's one part of things that you should not worry about. Of course, this is not valid and true for most severe illnesses that require such surgery, but it is possible to connect to health professionals. A lot of my clients who are suffering from trauma related issues, flashbacks, nightmares, emotionally unstable personality disorder, or complex PTSD, depression, anxiety, we've been able to help them with some new strategies that we have developed for people to be assisted at their home. Summarizing, lockdown is a strange environment for all of us. It is possible that anxiety is causing you a challenge. The first step is to realize that that's possible and then change small things in your environment and in your head. Keeping things like routine will reduce the morbidity. Connecting to people, your friends, family members, adding, using the time that you would have spent in traveling before into something that will enhance your physical and mental health would go a long way in reducing the severity of depression as well as the probability of you ever getting depression. I hope this has been helpful. I hope to load a lot more videos about this. If you find that this video has been helpful, may I request that you share this with your friends and colleagues who you feel might benefit from this. And I would like to thank you for the time that you spent listening to this. Have a very good